Thank y'all for tuning in. We got a great show lined up on tonight. Now, it's still Black History Month, family, and tonight's show is all about the visual arts and music. So first on deck is TaRon Patton, co-founder of the African American Museum of the Performing Arts. She'll be joining me. Plus, event and vibe curator Christopher Davis, also known as Sigma Chris, and the Tribe's general assignment reporter Matt Harvey. They're in the building, so don't move. Stay tuned. It's your boy Rome J. We Real Chicago starts right now. What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to Real Chicago. I'm your boy, Rome J. And the first guest of the evening is TaRon Patton. Now, in addition to being a co-founder of the African American Museum of the Performing Arts, which is coming to the South Side later this year, TaRon is also an accomplished actress and has appeared in theater productions, television shows like The Chi, and movies. Did I mention she also has some director credits in there too somewhere? Go ahead, Ms. TaRon. Welcome to We Real Chicago, everyone. Please, TaRon, thanks for being here. How are you?
Man, I'm blessed. And I'm glad to be here on the show. I'm excited. I'm honored to be here. So thanks for having me.
Definitely. And like I told you before we started, girl, you rocking that red hair, girl.
You know, I told y'all, I'm 2021 is my year.
All right.
I'm coming hard.
Yeah, over there looking like lava girl. You better
lava girl, right? I'm doing it. I'm rocking it. Volcanoes all around.
Wonderful. So, hey, look, let's get into some questions real quick. I'd love to find out more about you and the African American Museum of Performing Arts. But first, let's find out more about TaRon. Why did you get into performing arts? And, when did you know that acting was something you wanted to do professionally, please?
So I'm from the South Side. And on my 8th birthday, my granny took me to see The Wiz at the Schubert. And I was blown away, because I wanted to be an actor all my life, but I had been told, that's not for us. We don't do that. We got to be in business and, post office and all of those things. And so I was told that, being a performer was something that white people did. Right. So anyway, I went to The Wiz and I saw all of these Black people, and I went to the diner across the street to eat, and Stephanie Mills, Ted Ross, the cast came in to eat. And, at that age, you're fearless. So I ran over, and I was like, yeah, this is a job. And they were like, yeah. And I was like, y'all get paid? And they were like, yeah. And I said, what do I have to do, to be a part of it? How do I get started? And they told me, study, make it your craft. And that the rest is mute. I from that moment on, knew it was something I wanted to do. And I started out in theater, and then I did go on to do the film and television thing. But I found that live theater was more, what made my heart pump. It's, the actual artistry that it takes to fill up a theater of 3,000 people and reach everybody in the room. That's the kind of spirit that I have. That's when I'm using my craft to its fullest. So I do film and television. I definitely love directing, but when I'm on stage, that's when that's where I'm a star. And
I'm sorry to interrupt you, TaRon, but I love The Wiz. You fell in love with acting when you saw The Wiz. What's your favorite song from The Wiz?
My favorite song, Don't Nobody Bring Me No Bad News.
Bring me.
Don't nobody bring me no bad news. That's it. No bad news.
Yeah, that's a jam. Mine is Ease On Down the Road, but specifically the part where they just got drugged and the lion was crying and Diana Ross comes in. Oh, there may be time where you wish you wasn't born. Then Michael comes in and you wake one morning. That's my favorite part of the whole movie. But we love The Wiz over here. So, but no, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say just the, and just the fact that, like I said, I love it because my experience with it was live, right? When they were on the stage. But then The Wiz, you know, the movie, man, that took it to like a whole nother level, you know. And so that's why, you know, we do it, you know, that's what AMPA is all about. It's like there's so many different areas of Black performance art that is relevant, you know, whether you like stage, whether you like, you know, movies, we're all over. So, you know, that's why it is so important that we start AMPA now. That is why we're, you know, why we're doing it, because it's monumental and universal.
So there was definitely a need for it, so to speak. And this new venture was also founded by Chicago actor Harry Lennox. And we all love Harry. I love Harry from the Five Heartbeats. He's known for the Superman, the superhero movies. And I really liked him in Ray myself. That was a really powerful movie and powerful role for him. Like, what really inspired you and Harry? If you could get a little bit deeper into this, what inspired you guys to bring this museum to the South Side specifically?
So we were in Miami. He was there for a big promotion. I think it was for Allstate, and I was there for the African American Film Festival. And we were talking about, you know, the future of Black performance. You know, where we were headed. You know. And we just started vibing on it. And so he was like, and at the time, I was the executive director of Congo Square Theater. And so he was like, well, look, what if we could dream and create something, you know, what would it be? And I said, we need to make sure that we leave an inheritance for the young Black performers behind us. They need to know, you know, no offense, but Harry, if me and you know, died today, you're a star. So yours would be, you know, you might go down in the history books, but me, I may not, you know, and I've accomplished a lot of things, but if we don't talk about ourselves, if we don't acknowledge and lift up each other to say that we're noteworthy, nobody's going to do it for us. And so that's really where, you know, it came from, you know, the need for us to make sure that everybody understands that Black performers all over this nation, we are the foundation of what this industry we call entertainment, it's on our backs. And yet we don't get a voice, you know, when it comes to the things that matter most to us, we're the last ones asked. And so at AMPA, the artist is first, and it's from the lens of the performing artist. And those are the things that we are going to highlight. We're going to be in the South Side, 4343 South Cottage Grove. Yes, right in the heart of the South Side. Wonderful. In Bronzeville. And if you don't know about, in Bronzeville, which is, you know, back in the day, there was Harlem and then there was Bronzeville. You know, Chicago, we were the Mecca for Black performance.
Wonderful. So the museum will be located in Bronzeville. And real quick, so where are you guys now in terms of construction for the museum? And, you know, has COVID impacted the progress?
Yes, because COVID hit right after we had obtained the building, we were gutting the building, we were in the, you know, process in the early construction stages, and then COVID hit and it kind of shut everything down. But you know us, we are resilient people. And what I realized, you know, kind of like what we were talking about a little earlier, is that we know how to roll with it, right? Like when it changes, like you said, we went one way, but then when everything happened, we realized we had to get out on the street and make it, you know, where everybody can know what it is. It was the same thing with us. We realized that we could do a lot virtually. So right now, we are launching something called Setting Our Own Table, which is a national conversation that's hosted on our website right now, where we want to hear from everybody. We don't want to assume that everybody knows what, we can't speak for every artist. So we want to hear from y'all. We want to, you know, we have 3 questions that we're asking, and we want to hear what you will have to say. What is, you know, how do you feel about the mission? You know, why do you think it's important now? And most importantly, what do you want to see in it? So that we're not building something that you don't want. You know, what do you want? It's very important. So Setting Our Own Table is that platform where I hope to hear from everybody to say, this is what I want, or this is what I'd like, you know, to see. And, you know, virtually, because I'm sure you're understanding that now, we're realizing that until we can get those millions for that building, it's still important for the people to know that we exist and what we're doing. So setting our own table is our first platform. But then in October, we're doing a virtual tribute to a man that everybody should know about. And his name is Anthony Chisholm. He's a legendary actor who did pretty much all the August Wilson plays, but he's one of those icons that everybody needs to know about. And the name of the exhibit is called The Chiz. And you talk about a soul brother, you talk about an amazing man. So those are the things that we are focusing on right now, virtually, so that we can have like an eye. We're working on an app because we think it's important that, clearly this COVID thing is not something that's going to go away, right? So we need to be able to talk to one another and still, connect with one another. So virtual right now is going to be, the way we go until, we can cut that ribbon on that building.
Wonderful. And what a day that will be. And if
we're gonna party. We're gonna party.
Oh yeah. And if we could pull up the visual of the building one more time, this is what the actual Bronzeville Museum will look like when it's all finished. Now, TaRon, do you have kind of like a date you guys are shooting for completion?
So right now, because of COVID, we were definitely shooting for the fall, right? To kind of get back everything, break the ground and like start to really, it's gutted. So now we're starting to work on the interior and work with people to help us really make sure that we're, like you said, that's what setting our own table is about, making sure that what's being built is going to be useful for the community. Right? To make sure that we don't build a building that, doesn't do anything for what we need. So we want the building to reflect the community and the needs of Black artists. So that's what we're focusing on right now. So September, October, kind of fallish is what we're looking at. But, with the COVID thing, like everybody, we watching TV every day, to figure out, I won't say when we can get back to normal, because I think this is going to be with us for a while, but just how we do like we've always done as a people. Find a way to get through it, make it work for us, and be better.
Yeah, and I just got to say that design, that mock-up looks beautiful. It looks like a theater marquee is out there that says grand opening. That looks awesome. So we're all excited. Tara Willis in the comment section says, can't wait. Make sure you guys hit up the comments. Hit up your boy Ron J. Hit us up, me and Miss TaRon Patton here.
Yes.
Actress, director, everything. She's a co-founder of the new museum that's going to be in Bronzeville. So, and you mentioned some virtual events, and you hosted the virtual grand opening last month. How was that? And what types of things are y'all doing right now as the building comes together?
So Setting Our Own Table launched on Martin Luther King's birthday. It is, if you haven't checked it out, please go to the website, www.ampamuseum.org. The inaugural video called In the Beginning is there, and it is Harry Lennox talking one-on-one with three of the most huge, Pomone Ramey. If you don't know him, this man is one, the equivalent of Oscars in Nigeria, but he's a homegrown brother. He's been here. He was a part of the DuSable Museum for many years. Kamadi Porter, ETA on the south side of Chicago, that's been there from, 75 years. Okay. And then Alana Arenas is a young sister. She's an incredible sister. She's, doing television right now, but she's a member of Steppenwolf. And they're having a conversation about what we talked about. So that's on our website. And then the Chiz, like I said, we're working on the app right now to do that in October. But right now, honestly, what I want to do is I want to hear from y'all. Please, go to our website. If you got questions, if you got things that you want from us, we want to hear from you. Send your tape in, talk about the things that you want to talk about. And I plan to stay, in close contact with the tribe because they doing their thing. And I want to make sure that, whatever we're talking about, they're going to know about it and, be there. I want to hear the young people's voice. And I think this is the best place for it to happen. So I look forward to hearing from all of you all because I'm building this for you. You know, this is your legacy, your inheritance is yours to have. So let me know what you want.
Yeah, wonderful. T. Ward says, I love that you all are doing this. The younger gen and the old heads need to link up. And TaRon, we were just talking about this before we got on.
To link up.
How how we could bridge the gap really for something powerful. I'll ask you this: when the museum opens up, its doors to the public, what are you hoping people can walk away with after visiting? It seems like
it's
TaRon, go ahead.
when you
That question. Go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead and start over. We had some connection issues, but go ahead.
Okay. It's the thing about AMPA, when you think about it as a museum, it's going to be an experience. That's the most important thing. When it comes to performing arts, everything that we do, we hit the heart, we hit the soul. You know what I'm saying? We make you feel something. And so when we open our doors, when people come in through there, and this picture of the place that you see is the Lillian Marcy Center. That's the building. That is the kind of like, I want to say, the monument of where we're going to be on the South Side. And AMPA's going to be a partner with them. But when you come in any parts of this, what you're going to walk away with is an experience that is blackety black. No matter what color you are, you're going to be able to walk out and be like, man, I learned something today. Or man, I'm feeling something today. Or man, I want to go back, because it's where I feel like we're represented. This is going to be an experience, y'all. We're not trying to have no old artifacts up on the desk, something we blowing dust off of. No, this is going to be experiences that you can come in where you're going to know who you come from, where you come from, and be proud of it. And no matter what genre you come from, whether it's music, dance, theater, spoken word, film and television, it's going to be represented there. And we look forward to seeing you.
Go ahead. I was making sure you finished your thought there, Miss.
No, I was just gonna say I can't wait. I can't wait to see you.
Most definitely. And look, we're getting just as excited. We can't wait to literally walk through those doors on the real grand opening. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss TaRon Patton, co-founder of the African American Museum of the Performing Arts, actress, director, force of nature. Thank you so much for joining us.
No, thanks for having me, and keep doing what you're doing, man, for real. And I'm there for you. Whatever you need, hit me up.
Thank you so much. We definitely will, everybody. TaRon Patton.
All right. Good night.
Thank you. All right. So Chicago music never takes a break, and there's a lot I want to talk about. So I invited the TRiiBE's general assignment reporter, Matt Harvey, to talk about what's popping in music today. Welcome to the show, Matt. What's going on, brother? We got Matt connecting in. Matt, there you are. What's going on, man?
There we go. I'm decent, bro. Appreciate you having me on.
You already know, Matt. This is your second time on the show. You already know how we get down. Glad to have you, man.
It's been kind of too few and far between for me, bro.
Yeah. We got to get you on here more often. Yeah, we got to get you on here more often, man. I don't make the decisions. I just roll with the punches. So, glad to have you, though, guys. Matt's the business when it comes to writing these articles, man. He's been on the ground for a long time for us here at the TRiiBE. Had a really big summer in 2020 with the uprisings. You can check out all his work on the TRiiBE.com. So Matt, first up, I got Rick Wilson, James Baldwin, freedom writer fighter. Ricky Wilson is back with another dance hit called Pull a James Baldwin. Rick speaks on everything from fascism to Trump voters, the pandemic, and more. And hey, look, I'm pretty sure when he says, I just pulled a James Baldwin, he's referencing to when the famous black writer left the country, with the chant of, I need a break. In the background, this one will make you think and get you off your feet. That's Rick Wilson, Pull a James Baldwin. Make sure you guys check that out. Now, Matt, you covered a ton of protests last summer. How does Rick Wilson's music fit into the movement for Black lives, in your opinion?
My man's Rick is he's really about that life. Like, he's on the ground at these protests. So it's no question that when he comes to making music, when he's in the studio, when he's, he got the pen in hand, he's definitely going to create something that has a purpose to it, something that speaks to the plight of Black people, Black queer folks, he does a lot of writing to the people who are the most marginalized, and he definitely. I mean, if I could pick a Chicago artist to make an anthem to the summer protests, it would be Rick Wilson.
Rick Wilson, Pull James Baldwin. Make sure you guys check that out. Now that's a live one. It kind of sounds like some house music type beat. Very Chicago, very nice, indeed. Now, Matt, man, what you know about Gold Haze there, boy?
Oh, Go Ahead is cold. So like and this is the thing. Before he dropped this project, you know, I really knew him mostly as a producer. I mean, he's cold when it comes to producing, and I heard him rap a couple, you know, different times, but I wasn't expecting it to. I can't lie. This is you know, exceeded the expectation. You feel me? Like,
oh, my mama, I was
impressed. Make something decent. You know, I trust him to make something good. But this shit, I mean, it's fire. It's cold.
Yeah, I didn't know. I expected it to. Gold Haze makes good content, so I didn't expect for it to be bad. I didn't expect for it to be this good, though. Gold Haze gave Chicago a Christmas Day gift when he dropped the video to single "On My Way." Haze called upon the help of Dynamite producers Seasick and Ro Marsalis to doctor up a smooth vibe here. Now, Gold Haze, known as a producer and beat maker, just released his debut album as an artist on February 11th, titled From Here On Out. Now, the album has 14 tracks and features a verse from Joey Perp on the 4th track entitled Scenic Route. I mean, like, that's one that...
Boy, looks smooth on the album cover.
Man, yeah, that's a smooth album cover. And he showed us, we had Gold Haze on the show a few months ago. He showed us the album cover live when the album was he was still working on it. So shout out to Gold Haze. And Scenic Route with Joey Perp is a banger. Like, Joey killed his verse. And and you know, and I actually had to shout them out on Twitter. me and Hayes had to have a quick exchange real quick just because it was so fire. It caught me by surprise. But one of my favorite artists from the Shy, Flex, he also makes an appearance on the 9th track, which is titled Miami Cuban. It's a really unique song. But of course you expect those two to do something great given their track record together. And Gold Haze recently tweeted the album already has over 10,000 streams after only one weekend. So shout out to Haze. And we've had him on the show, and we're going to have to invite him back to talk about the album. His debut From Here On Out, available now. And don't forget to check out the video to his first single, On My Way. Really dope vibes. Give me like Trap Soul, Bryson Tiller, Brent Fayez.
Yeah, bro, that's what I was exactly what I was going to say when I was like, bro, I'm gonna make sure I bring up the Bryson Tiller connection.
Yeah, it gives me real Bryson Tiller, smooth Trap Soul, that sort of vibe. And Gold Haze does. I think that's the direction he'll be in as an artist. But really dope. The album is really versatile. So make sure you guys check out Gold Haze's new album From Here On Out. And I'm glad. Switching artists, I'm glad to see Dirk is releasing music, and we know it's been a challenging time for him after the passing of his friend, Chicago rapper King Von, as we all know. And let's talk about Dirk for just a minute here, Matt. So Lil Durk has definitely been going crazy. On December 24th, he released The Voice, which hit #1 on Billboard's top R&B and hip-hop album charts. On January 29th, Dirk released the deluxe version of The Voice, and that came with a dope visual for the song Kanye Crazy. Now, in this video, we see Dirk pay homage to one of Chicago's greatest when he remakes some of Kanye's most memorable moments. Kanye Crazy debuted on Billboard's Hot 100 at number 91. Dirk would then be seen at an Atlanta jewelry store with the baby and Lil Baby. Matt, I don't know if you're usually on social media. You saw those pictures of Dirk looking stoned.
Oh yeah, looking kind of nervous in the whip.
Yeah, he looked like he really didn't want to be there.
There's a lot going on. I feel, bro.
In all seriousness, I mean, people were making jokes, but in all seriousness, it's not like the safest environment right now for Chicago rappers.
I'm not even like that, and I would have been worried. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even out there like that, and I wouldn't have been comfortable around.
I wouldn't have been. People were making jokes about it, saying he don't want to be a cheater and all this, but honestly, he probably was just a little bit uncomfortable.
Yeah, bro. Like it was a lot of guys around. Like it was. Yeah, I wouldn't have been felt safe neither. Out in the open like that, like nah.
I understand the possible paranoia if you guys have seen that picture of Lil Durk. But anyways, the video to Durk's Finesse Out the Gangway featuring Lil Baby soon followed, which also debuted on Billboard's Hot 100 at number 39. Now, Finesse Out the Gangway is a dramatic rap rags to riches type of song with passionate piano play and a heavy bass drum. And as Durk's popularity grows, it looks like his crowd is changing just a little bit. And I say that because this video features numerous cameos from the Baby and Meek Mill. You can see the growth in Durk's delivery. And of course, Lil Baby is a monster and just continues to show elite lyricism on every track. He just kills every track. So good luck for Durk. Good luck for Baby. And Matt, I know you remember Back in Blood. That was a major hit, right?
Oh yeah. That is. I think that Durk and Baby are definitely two rappers who like. And I feel the same way about Shiesty too. I think Lil Durk and Shiesty work, but they all have this kind of like a convincing nature to the way they rap. Like when they rap, I believe them. You know, when they say stuff they say, it is not, their lyrics don't feel empty. You know,
and it feels like Pooh Shiesty is gearing up to have the type of year that that Lil Baby had in 2018, where he just takes over the rap game. He's starting to have that type of momentum. The duo Pooh Shiesty and Durk would collaborate again after Back in Blood. This time, Shiesty would feature on Should Have Ducked off of Durk's The Voice Deluxe album. And, you know, although this one gets a little messy, you can't deny the Shiesty Durk duo. And I think
might have been the hardest song on the album.
Yeah, you know, this one gets a little messy, but you can't deny this duo. They work nice together, and I think these two have a lot in store for the future. Should Have Ducked debuted at number 53, which makes 3 Billboard appearances from Durk's deluxe album in 1 week. I think it's safe to say we're witnessing Lil Durk at his best and in his prime, right, Matt?
Yeah, I think that especially on this record, like this was one that like it sticks to your ribs, the lyrics. You feel me? Like they it's tough. It's a hard record. And I think it's probably like the hardest one on this album for real. So and I think that Durk, yeah, he's been on fire. Even like some of the singles, like we'll get to the Judas and the Black Messiah thing later, I'm sure, but his contribution to that was even, you know, really good. So I think that he's been. Yeah, he's been on a roll, and I'm happy to see like him finally get that appreciation. Because you know, in the city, we've been rocking with Durk heavy since the man, you know, since we was L's up for the hitters. So.
Since 2010, yeah. No doubt. So, and you know, Durk plans on keeping the train rolling. He announced that an OTF album featuring posthumous verses from King Von is on the way and set to drop later this month, February 26th. We can all agree Durk is on the road. The Voice Deluxe album is available now on all major streaming platforms. So, Matt, you're here to talk about Judas and the Black Messiah. Durk, among other Chicago artists, were featured on the Inspired album. The album is star-studded and features appearances from Jay-Z, Nipsey Hussle, Nas, Rakim, G Herbo, Durk, and Polo G. And that's just to name a few, seriously. Is it worth mentioning that Chicago artist No Name tweeted she was supposed to join Saba and Smino on the Plead the 45th, but declined after watching the movie. Saba and Smino, her Ghetto Sage bandmates. But of course, here to talk more about that with me is the Tribe's General Assignment reporter, Matt Harvey. He's here right now if you're just now tuning in. So, Matt, you wrote a review of the album. Walk us through your thoughts on the project as a whole. Please, the floor is yours.
Yeah, the main takeaway from it, above all else, is just inspired how, I would say. It's just that most of these songs don't have a lot to do with the plot or the message of the film. They don't have to do with Black Panther Party politics. They don't have to do with Fred Hampton's life or journey or even the experience of like, there's a couple times on the album where you see it from Black Thought, who you can expect it from always to give kind of like a sermon on a beat about the plight of Black America. That's Black Thought's calling card. You know, somebody like even Rhapsody and Jid did a great job, and Masego on their contribution. But then you got songs like the EPMD record, which for one, it already takes away from the purpose or the inspired by part of the album, because EPMD is his own entity. You are, it's like throwing in this popular rap group as a name, you know, in the track list is kind of, to me, it's tacky kind of. And then you get on the record and you rapping about counting $1 million in the back of a Michelin starred restaurant. Like, this is not what I mean. I don't even want to make
total contradiction.
I don't want to make the statement that this isn't what Fred Hampton would have wanted, because I don't want to like assume, but based on the evidence we have from his life, his much too short life, it wasn't necessarily something that he would have been a huge fan of, probably. So like there's a lot of lyrics like that. There's a song on there called "Rich Nigga Problems" by A$AP Rocky. Like, the man was trying to lead a proletariat revolution. He wasn't like, rich nigga problems wasn't something that he would be
and so everybody, and Matt, I'm sorry to interrupt you. For everybody, Matt is a journalist, and so when we say proletariat, that means the working class, correct?
Oh,
Matt?
my bad. Yeah.
So no, and there are a lot of songs on the album that just don't align with Fred Hampton's, with the good chairman Fred Hampton's beliefs, and it is noteworthy. So, what songs stood out to you? Let's say in a good way. What songs did you enjoy?
Yeah. So that was a real impassioned like speech about how off it was, but there were definitely some highlights. G Herbo gets on there twice. Both of his contributions are good, are really good. I think the All Black, the first one, is something that honestly doesn't really fit. Like, a lot of these records on here, they don't really. A lot of them don't fit. But it would have been fire on a G Herbo mixtape. You know, if that came out on that, it would be fire. But
because All Black is hard, you know. I'm G Herbo biased.
Yeah,
and I like All Black. I don't really know if it fits this album though.
Yeah,
right.
If it was on a Herbo mixtape, it would have heated the streets up. But
yeah,
Revolutionary is I think, like, him and Polo G are kind of going at it for the best verse on the album with that one, because Revolutionary is hard. Him and Bump J, like, really, they chemistry is great on that record. The soul sample that backs it is great. And his lyrics feel really real powerful in that. I think that Polo G's contribution was great. Like, he went off. I think when upon first listening to the album, I was like, this is by far the best verse on here. Polo G, the Up North Brethren, shout out him. I think that there were some other ones, like, a lot of times there were good songs that just didn't fit the album to me. Like, there was like the Dirk song. It was good. It just wasn't like I didn't get Judas and the Black Messiah from it. You know, yeah.
So let's go over No Name. Chicago rapper No Name was asked to be on a track with Smino and Saba, her Ghetto Sage bandmates, of course, but declined after watching the movie. She tweeted. Matt, walk us through what happened with No Name, please.
Yeah, so basically it's what happened with, I'm sure, a lot of people who ended up watching it, but she basically felt like there wasn't enough. It strayed too far from Fred Hampton's political beliefs. It didn't do enough to really expose his beliefs or emphasize his beliefs within it. So and that's true. I mean, the movie is a movie. It's not like it doesn't feel like it's trying to eulogize Fred Hampton, or it's not trying to be like a biography of Fred Hampton. It's definitely just a crime drama. Danielle Scruggs wrote a great review for the TRiiBE that I definitely recommend people go read. That really speaks to that. How it's like it's good as a a crime thriller. A suspense thriller is great, but when it comes to like really talking about the Black Panther Party politics, it comes across definitely. It's not ignored completely. It comes across in the film, but I think that if you are going to this movie looking for a Fred Hampton biopic, you aren't getting that. And I think that No Name probably went into it like a lot of us with that kind of in her head that was what we were going to be getting out of this. And I could see why after seeing it, she wouldn't have wanted to be a part of it. And the song Plead the Fourth-Fifth would have been, it definitely could have benefited from a No Name. It was not bad by any means. It's a great song. They both, Saba and Smino, go off on that. I like both of their verses, but I think, No Name really would have rounded it out, So, yeah, I think her criticism is definitely valid. It definitely it isn't a hollow criticism whatsoever. So yeah.
It's your boy Rome J. If you guys are just now joining me, I'm here with TRiiBE General Assignment reporter Matt Harvey. Matt's been on the ground this last year, 2020, covering all the uprisings. He just wrote a dope review on Judas and the Black Messiah, the inspired album. So, and speaking of the Black Panthers, we got to mention Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. They finally met the fundraising goal to save the Hampton House, Chairman Fred Hampton's childhood home. So we're very happy to hear that over here at the TRiiBE. There was like a $2 million GoFundMe that went into the project, I believe. So, and don't quote me on that, I believe it was $2 million, but we're very happy to hear that. We just had Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. of the Black Panther Party Cubs on a couple weeks ago. So congratulations to him, and of course the legacy of the great Chairman Fred. But Matt, about this album, what would have really made this album soar? What would have made this really feel like an inspired album about a revolutionary Chicago freedom fighter?
The revolutionary in Chicago freedom fighter part, if they would have emphasized all those things, I think that we spoke about how they missed a lot on the freedom fighter, the revolutionary part when it came to the music on the album. But the Chicagoan part is a very big, there's a big gap there that needs to be filled. It leaves a lot to be desired. They have Chicago artists on there for sure, but I think that they could have done a lot more to kind of center Chicago artists. It could have been a great opportunity to make this album something that was like in a way a revolutionary record. Like there are a lot of artists like Rick Wilson, like we talked about earlier, like No Name, like Bella Boz. Like there are plenty of artists. Folks from the Huey Gang. All these folks are people that very much are about that life when it comes to being revolutionary, being active in their communities, being the type of people that align with more Black Panther Party politics and the Chairman Fred Hampton politics. Even old, folks with pedigree like Lupe and Common and Twist, people like that, like would have been great to have a Rhyme Fest. Folks like that would have been amazing to be on a record like this and really make it like a something that felt inspired by the film. So that would have been, I think that's what would have really made this off the charts thing. But nothing's perfect ever. You can always, hindsight's 2020. I wasn't in a decision room, but I think I probably would have came out with something a little bit better.
Yeah, you can't get everybody, but I mean, you're missing Chance, you're missing Common, you're missing West Side legends, Lupe Fiasco and Twista. Could have really probably changed the sound and overall feeling about this project. The TRiiBE's General Assignment reporter, Matt Harvey. Matt, thank you so much, brother. It's always a pleasure having you on.
Definitely, bro. Y'all got to have me on more, folks. I appreciate it.
You already know, man. Thanks for coming through.
All right.
All right, thanks Matt, for stopping by. Excuse me. And be sure to check out the Forecast YouTube playlist in the description box. We got all the hot music from this week, just what I've been listening to. And it's hard for me to come up with a 10-song playlist because I listen to like 5 songs and just keep playing those same songs. So we got 10 songs and they're really good. So check them out, guys. All right, we have had to find, new and creative ways to socialize in the wake of COVID-19. Event and certified vibe curator, brand ambassador, and chief marketing officer Sigma Chris is doing just that with the Chicago Video Music Fest that's coming this spring. Sigma Chris is here. Let's welcome him to We Real Chicago. Sigma Chris, what's going on, brother? Your mic's muted real quick.
Hey, how's it going?
Wonderful. Hey, man, thanks for being patient. Thanks for waiting. Welcome to We Real Chicago. We're glad to have you on. So, and look, Chris, before we get into, we'll find out more about the Music Video Fest. But for right now, let's find out more about you. How did you get into hosting events and just the nightlife scene in Chicago? Please, Chris, the floor is yours.
Well, I guess it progressed fairly naturally. I started in college. I went to Illinois State University. Obviously, if you've ever been to college, you know it's a wild time. It's a good time. It's educational, but at the same time, you have a lot of fun. I met a lot of people, and while I was down there was just a need for social engagement in a safe space, kind of similar to what we have now. One issue that we had in college was all of our social interactions, not all, but most, especially geared toward minorities, were in unsafe areas, full of people that honestly did not go to the university. And there was just constantly this headbutt and this clash at each one of the events. So my partner and I at the time, we took it upon ourselves to start hosting our own events. Once we started doing that, it was, I knew it was something special. I knew it was something that I could do. And, it kind of started from there. Fast forward, I was working in social service, and I wanted to do a little bit more just to bring in more income for myself and my family. And I thought, what could I do to get back to more money and just to having fun at my job? And I started working in events. That kind of led me down the line of working with Black-owned businesses, specifically. I'm sorry, am I glitching?
No, you're fine, Chris.
Okay. It started me down the path of working with Black-owned businesses. When I first started at Refuge Live in 2017, I believe, that was my first event here in Chicago, where I was operating under Sigma Chris Events, and it just went well. My whole premise behind that was to recycle the Black dollar and to actually put money back into our community via entertainment. Refuge Live was a Black-owned business. My frat brother, his name was also Chris. He opened the doors to me, and it was amazing, So he just allowed me the space to create, and from there, I met Cal Santillian on WGCI, who gave me my big shot. We actually did his birthday party with Ninth Wonder, a Grammy award-winning, producer Ninth Wonder. It was a huge success, and from there, I just continued to grow. So that's kind of short synopsis of how I came to be in Chicago.
And so when we think about, why you decided to do this professionally, do you think back to that moment that you just explained where you're with your family and you're just wondering, how can I make a little bit more money? How can I get a little bit more involved? To walk us through your decision to really go into the event business.
Man, it was multiple things. The first thing was the priority of, me needing money. I worked in social service, as I said, and social service, it's a very emotionally taxing and a financially taxing field. It is not very financially rewarding, and, you really have to love it. I felt like, although I cared about what I did, I cared about the children that I work with, it still was not allowing me to provide a lifestyle for my family. I have 2 children that I wanted for them. At the time, I only had my son. And, I was just struggling to make ends meet. Even looking at this snow now, I remember prior to me starting Sigma Chris Events, I was so low in cash. I went out and shoveled snow. I was an adult. I had a full-time job, but like I said, I was struggling to make ends meet. It was a blizzard or something like that. I took my shovel, went outside door to door, and shoveled snow to actually get the money for one of my bills.
Amen, real man.
Oh, it was a very humbling experience, but at the same time, I'm gonna do what I have to do, to provide for my kids and to provide for my lady. So I was I was really pressed to do something about my income situation. Also, I graduated with a degree, so it wasn't the degree. I don't have any student loan debt. It was just my profession really didn't pay enough. I was, trying to balance everything in my life, and this was something that I remembered I could do. I knew I could do it well. I always felt like I had a certain passion and proficiency for it. So I hopped back in. Another reason why was I never liked the way I was treated in nightlife. I felt like going out sometimes in Chicago was a hassle, specifically when you're Black. And also when you're not trying to come out and spend a ton of money, you're just trying to come and have a good time. I felt like I was not being, I just wasn't being appreciated at the places that I went and that I frequented. So I said, hey, you guys aren't doing anything that I can't do myself. I'll offer another option. And I guess the last reason was I kept seeing a lot of these places that I felt mistreated people like us. I saw them constantly eating off the Black dollar. That actually bothered me. I felt like if we're going to go somewhere, if we're going to socialize, I want to hear our music. I don't want to be harassed at the door. I want to come in and feel comfortable. And that was a vibe that I felt like I could create. And that's what started Sigma Chris events. So all of those things were kind of a culmination of, hey, you need to do this.
Wonderful. And, we're very happy for you, Chris, and for your success. And you've definitely become a force in Chicago nightlife and just the event business as a whole here in Chicago. Moving on, let's talk about the Music Video Fest itself. Before we do, Chris, do you mind backing your camera up just a little bit? We want to get your hat in the frame. Yes, sir. Let's see what you rocking there.
Oh, man. My grandmother, she loved the Cubs. So
there we go.
I stay with the Cubs hat on, man. She grandmother.
Shy City, I'm that's right now. So yeah. But moving on to the Music Video Fest, tell the people just what it is.
So, story, I guess, about it. My partner, Jessica, who runs the Hyde Park Center for Healing. So shout out to her. Hopefully she's listening. But she came with the idea to do a movie fest. She wanted to do an independent independent movie festival, so that we could showcase a lot of Black artists, a lot of up and coming artists, and kind of put their films out there. We were kind of going back and forth with a couple of venues. We were trying to actually buy the venue so that we could run this thing ongoing throughout the summer and then turn it into something in the winter. It just wasn't working out for us. The venue that we were looking at just had a few things going on with the city, and it was the ideal space. So we kind of deaded the idea. Then one day she called me and said, hey, what's up with a music festival? I used to do music when I was younger, so I'm like, oh, I'm all for that. I absolutely love independent artistry. And I remember how hard it was when I was coming up to even break through the door. Everything was pay for play. If you didn't know somebody, you couldn't get through the gate per se. So I just wanted to find a way to make that easier. Fast forward, so when she brought the idea up, we brainstormed a couple days, shot ideas back, how to make it COVID friendly, COVID safe. And I was in these clubhouse rooms where everybody was talking about Chicago. They kept referencing how Chicago is a city that you have to leave in order to make it. I completely disagree. And referencing my previous statements, I made it here. I bust my butt to get to where I am today, and I only made it because of the love of Chicago. So I can't say that you have to leave here to make it, but I know that they work in a different arena. So I say that to say, when I was hearing all of these comments, I thought, what could I do to contribute? What can I do to kind of help solve the problem versus constantly repeating the same rhetoric. Once Jessica brought that idea up and I was in those rooms, it just seemed like it was right to do. The whole purpose of this fest is like a FUBU situation. I always shout out FUBU, for us, by us. Like, you know, it's for the culture. We aren't charging artists anything to join. We're handling the marketing, so the artists, they don't have to sell tickets. It's all about a celebration of Chicago. We're putting our own money into it. You know, everything is from the ground up, built by Chicago, for Chicago. So that's the main thing we're working on right now, just really getting it out there. And we have over 180 submissions. We're probably knocking on 200 now. So it's looking like it's going to be a success.
Wow, most definitely. So, and just while we're on the topic of the actual process, let's talk about it. Like, so what is the process for artists to submit their videos? Like, what are the contest rules? What are the deadlines? All of that. Chris, go ahead.
So we just moved the contest back. It was, as you can see, it's snow everywhere. We didn't want to play with it in March. You know, around February. It was originally March 27th. So now that is the submission deadline. So if you guys are still interested in submitting, please, you can submit your work to contact out there. It's on the screen, but contact at chicagomusicvideofest.com. And the date will be March 27th. Also, the actual festival is taking place May 15th. So we moved it to a nicer month. We want people to be outside. Also, hopefully, we'll be a little further out of this COVID situation. So that's our main motive behind moving everything back. Just, you know, trying to make it as comfortable for everybody as possible. And then we hope even more people will apply. And artists that we do choose, they have even more time to cook up something new and fresh for the audience. So we're excited about it.
Facts. And we're definitely excited too. Chris, hopefully you might need some extra media coverage, and your boy Ron J is always on hand. So just let us know over here at the TRiiBE. And you know, along with Mike Ori of Afro Track and others through the Drive-In Fest back in August at Soldier Field. I was there. I got a chance to meet Do or Die, which was pretty cool. We enjoyed Lloyd and Pleasure P and who else? It was tons of people. I had a good time. So with the video music fest, be kind of like the same idea.
So Mike Ori and Civilized Lifestyle are also a part of the team too. So they are a part of our, you know, marketing team and everything else. It is going to be similar in terms of it's a drive-in, but it's going to be different because it's specifically geared towards Chicago. This is all about Chicago support. So not only are we going to have the interactive competition where we have an app for our audience to choose the winner. So we won't be choosing the winner of the competition. You all will. So we need amazing crowd participation. We want you guys to come out and basically tell us who's next out of Chicago. Outside of that, we're toying with the idea of actual performances, but the COVID is just so uncertain at the moment that we can't really guarantee it. So I just want to see what the city's going to do before we move forward with booking a headlining act. We will have Chicago-based DJ sets. It's going to feel like a big party, man. Like, remember when you were out at Washington Park or you went to the Circle if you're from the West Side? That's what it should feel like. You know, you pull up, got your car, you know, we got a bar and grill in the place, grab you a drink, grab you some food, and just vibe with your people from a safe distance. But vibe with your people, man, and it should be a great time.
Facts. So let's see. So, and I gotta mention this. So if you don't know, Chris, we wrote a story last month about two music contests that's taking place in Chicago right now for indie artists. And like after reading the contest rules, you know, you got to read the fine print. We were concerned that the artists may be getting exploited to a certain degree. And I know your contest isn't anything like that. What effect do you think your contest could have on an artist's career? I mean, like, you know, what's in it for them?
I think that, well, just speaking from kind of coming up in a situation where I was trying to break through, I think contests in general have to be geared to the purpose of enhancing the artist's career. Most of these contests are, and I'm not knocking anybody's contest that is being hosted. You know, everybody has to do what they have to do, and it's a business at the end of the day. I just personally felt when I was coming up that all of these contests were just geared to make the promoters money. And that is not my goal or my aim in the least bit with this particular contest and with this this festival. This is meant to be a celebration of Chicago. And just to talk about like the artist's career and how does it help or hurt, you get in the wrong contest. I think exposure in general, it does help. So for sure, it is not a negative thing to be exposed to new people. But at the same time, you get in the wrong contest, it can hurt your view of the industry. It can set you down the wrong path where you start to feel like you need to pay for play. It kind of gives you this hard up feeling that once you do make it, you don't want to give back because Chicago was so rough to you. There wasn't a lot of people that looked out, reached out, and believed in who you were. That's why you have so many people that when they reach a certain level of success, they're like, forget you guys, you know? I'm not, you know, I didn't get it easy. Now I can't give it to you easy. And I think that's the wrong mentality to have. I definitely bust my butt to get here, but my job is to make it easier for the next man. I don't find another up-and-coming promoter or an up-and-coming artist or anything intimidating. That is something that we should welcome because that means the business is growing, the black dollar is growing, and that we should really welcome these entities in with open arms and give them some game. Like, you know, don't send them off. So that's something I will challenge other event curators. Find more innovative ways to make money outside of via the artist. We didn't charge an entry fee. We're not making them sell tickets. This is literally for the love. So it's like, you know, and our prize package is pretty good. It's all geared toward helping the artist.
What is the prize package? Go over that real quick, Chris.
So I'm still building it. Like we're adding new things every day. So right now we are partnering with Power 92. So we're gonna get them obviously like radio coverage. We're trying to get their mix spin, their songs spun in the mix on Power 92. A radio interview. Outside of the radio interview and the Instagram interview, we have a couple publications that will be doing write-ups on the winner of the competition. I'll also be doing consulting for the winner of the competition to help market their music. We have a swag bag that we put together full of just Chicago clothing lines, as well as free studio time. Outside of the free studio time, what else are we offering? Portia King. I think she's in the audience. She's doing media training for the artists as well. Portia has done media training for a host of professional artists at this point. So, you know, it's definitely something that I think that the artists can use because they might, you know, find themselves on this platform one day and you want to know how to talk to people. So we're trying to give everything that we feel an artist can honestly use to take them to that next level. And again, this is all free of charge. So there won't be any hidden fees or backdoor surprises.
That's dope. That's dope. Always good to know. So where can folks come to check out the fest?
The information or the actual festival?
Both.
So the information, you can go to @Chicago Music Video Fest. That's on Instagram. We are building out the website right now, and that will be chicagomusicvideofest.com, but we have not launched it yet. So yeah, for right now, just check out the Chicago Music Video Fest Instagram. Also, the actual address of the place, I should say the actual location, is in Pilsen. We're going to release the address and everything soon. We don't want anybody to scoop us. But, you know, Chicago football, they're currently hosting drive-in movies there. So it's at their drive-in.
All right. And I mean, hey, Chris, anything else that you're working on that you'd want the people to know? Anything in the pipeline that maybe you can let us in on?
I'm working on a ton of things, man. I currently have an app that I'm working on with my friend and partner Kelly West, Tabs Toasting and Being Social. It has been circulating for a while now, and basically it's just a social media platform where you can send drinks to your friends from the house. So like, let's say if you're out at Persona, I'll use Persona as an example, and you see your friend is over at Bureau Bar and you want to talk to him, you want to send him a drink, but you guys are in two totally different places. You can send them a drink straight to Bureau Bar. They can pick it up at the bar. and you guys can toast from afar. So that's the whole thing about tabs, toasting and being social. Also, I'm working with Bull Young Bourbon as the lifestyle ambassador. Shout out to Danny. Danny is a up and coming, entrepreneur. He's a great chef, just a good guy, and we have some pretty good things in the works for the actual brand itself. And I think that's just my main thing, just trying to amplify brands, as well as continuing to grow my own. Also, we're doing Friday through Sunday, man. So if you guys ever want to come out and have a good time and be safe while having that good time, Fridays I'm at the Dime, Saturdays I'll be at Hubbard Inn, and Sundays I'll be at Joy District, which I wanted to acknowledge one of the comments or questions about how River North is historically racist. They are absolutely right. That was one of the things that I aimed to do. I aim to afford us some of the same amenities that everyone else had in the city, but it needed to be for us. Like it needed to actually be catered toward us. I used to walk in the River North, bunch of techno. I felt like I wasn't involved. I felt like I wasn't invited and I wasn't appreciated. That has completely changed now, and I like to actually pat myself as well as my team on the back. We've taken over River North, prime time, downtown Chicago. We do Friday through Sunday there. So definitely come and see us. I guarantee the treatment will not be what you're used to, and will not be what it was in the past. And that was one of my goals, to change that. So I just wanted to address the comment that I saw, and I definitely appreciate it because I was treated like that as well.
Yeah, no, wonderful. And real quick, Chris, before we go, I mean, is there any scoop you can give us to who's been submitting music? Any familiar names we might know? Things like that?
Man, I don't want to give anything away as to any of my favorites or anything like that. So I have to be careful with that. I don't necessarily have favorites, but there's just a lot of talent. I don't want to give anybody any false hope or make anybody feel, away. But we got submissions from the Boy, Illinois. We got submissions from Chanel True. Submissions from one of my homies, Nova, who's out in LA doing this thing. He's worked on a games project, Christina Million's project. We have quite a few artists that I'm familiar with that I enjoy. And hopefully throughout our voting process, these artists make it to the finals and we can see them on the big screen. That's the big goal.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And Chris, I'm a bomb host, hype man. I'm available. So just so you know, man. Yep. If you're looking, I'm available. For a host. If you need some extra media coverage, please let us know. We love to slide through, man.
And we love to have you guys there. Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So you know what I'm saying? Certified vibe curator, Sigma Chris. Thank you so much, man, for coming on the show. We truly enjoyed you, man. Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you all for having me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Take care.
You too.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for sticking with us. That's our show. Thank you to our guests. They were incredible. TaRon, Matt, the Tribe's General Assignment Reporter, and Sigma Chris. Now, if you have any questions about the show or want to reach out to us, hit us up at connect@thetribe.com. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to our YouTube page. And it's very important. There's a little bell. Hanging. You want to click that. That's the notification bell. It lets you know whenever the Tribe is doing anything on YouTube or whenever your boy Rome J goes live. Go ahead and click that. You can find me on Twitter at @RomeJ_ and on Instagram at @RomeJ_TV. We'll see you guys next week. Same time, same place. It's your boy Rome J and the Tribe signing out. Peace.